Hey, what is up everyone? In this video, I want to give an update to what we talked about over the last few weeks with rumors about Sea of Thieves and maybe some other games going to places like the PlayStation 5 or the Nintendo Switch. So in this video, I want to kind of recap everything that's gone on since then, and this will probably be my last video until we hear an official announcement from Rare about Sea of Thieves specifically. So last week, Xbox had this special podcast episode with Phil Spencer and a few other people that are the heads of Xbox. And in that video, they were trying to address the rumors that have been spreading that we talked about in the previous video I did on this topic. So they, I think, calmed down some of the more radicalized people, but honestly, everything that we were hearing was roughly true, with exception to a few things. So for those that are wondering, just to get it out of the way off the bat, they confirmed that Indiana Jones and Starfield will remain exclusive to Xbox and PC, so those are not going to the PlayStation or anything. However, they did officially announce that 4 games are going to be going multi-platform. 2 of them are community-driven games, and by that I believe they mean live service games, and then the other 2 are just, not that. They're just like other games. So before I get into what games those are, let me just show you what they actually said about all of this.
We've had some unforeseen news that has come out. So let's just go and tackle the exclusivity question, because I know it's on the minds of a lot of people. We hear from the community, and that's an important input for us. So we made the decision that we're going to take 4 games to the other consoles, just 4 games, not a change to our kind of fundamental exclusive strategy. We're making these decisions for some specific reasons. We make every decision really with the long-term health of Xbox in mind. And long-term health of Xbox means a growing platform, our games performing, building the best platform for creators, reaching as many players as we can. We're always looking to learn as a leadership team and to grow. And we think this is an interesting point in time for us to use what some of the other platforms have right now to help grow our franchises. So we're going to do that.
So these 4 titles, what are they? Can you say?
I'm not going to name those games. The teams that are building those games have announced plans that are not too far away. As we know, game teams put a lot of energy into their announcements with the partners. So I don't want to take anything away from those teams. So I won't be talking about the titles specifically, but I think when they come out, it'll make sense.
Can we say if either of those titles are Starfield or Indiana Jones?
They are not Starfield or Indiana Jones.
Well, what was the criteria in how the team was thinking about selecting those 4 titles?
Let me start a little bit outside of that, and then I'll get to the 4 specific games that we're talking about right now. Because the fundamental decision driver for any decision that we make, anything we're going to talk about today, is the long-term health of Xbox. That we're running a growing platform that is reaching more players, that our games are having as much success as possible. And I do have a fundamental belief that over the next 5 or 10 years, exclusive games that are exclusive to one piece of hardware, are going to be a smaller and smaller part of the game industry. And that's not some great insight, because if you look at the last 10 years and what the biggest games are today, it's a natural place. Whether it's one console and PC, multiple consoles, mobile console and PC, you see big games landing on multiple platforms. And we want to be a great platform for creators that are trying to realize that potential. But now back to the specifics of the question on these four specific titles. We looked at games that are over a year old, so they've been on Xbox and PC for a while. A couple of the games are community-driven games, new games, that kind of first iterations of a franchise that have reached their full potential, I'd say, on Xbox and PC. There's always growth. Franchises that we obviously want to continue to invest in. Part of having the ability to continue to invest is that the businesses behind those franchises continue. We think it's important that these service-based games that have communities behind them, that they can have confidence that they're going to exist in the future. So 2 of them, kind of community-driven games that will end up on other platforms and give us the ability to continue to invest in them. We think that's great for the business and great for the communities, more players to play with. I'd say 2 of the other games are smaller games that were never really meant to be built as kind of platform exclusives and all the fanfare that goes around that. But games that our teams really wanted to go build, that we love supporting creative endeavors across our studios, regardless of size. And as they've realized their full potential on Xbox and PC, we see an opportunity to utilize the other platforms as a place to just drive more business value out of those games, allowing us to invest in maybe future iterations of those, so sequels to those, or just other games like that in our portfolio. And when we don't damage Xbox and we can grow our business using what other platforms have and to help us with that, we're going to do that. And that's really the story behind these 4 games.
So I know that was a bit of a longer clip, but I just wanted to give the full context of what is going on with Xbox and these exclusive titles going to other platforms, and what is the criteria of what games are going. As you heard from what he was saying in that clip, it really is like fitting for Sea of Thieves to go. It's over a year old. We want to see it as a franchise continue going, whether that means that just, they keep updating the current game or even make a sequel. I don't think they'll make a sequel. I think they'll just keep updating the current version of the game that we have. But I think everything there is great news as a Sea of Thieves player. So as you heard in there, he said there's going to be 4 games coming over. 2 of them are community driven and 2 other titles that weren't meant to be exclusive console seller titles. Now the 2 games that are like the community driven ones are talked to be Sea of Thieves and Grounded, which I think makes a lot of sense. Grounded makes a lot of sense to go on other platforms. I think it would do really well. Same with Sea of Thieves. And then the other 2 games that people have been talking about is Hi-Fi Rush, which we've known for a long time now, as well as Pentiment. Now, I'm not too familiar with Pentiment, but I'm interested to see how people would enjoy those 2 games also, depending on what platforms they go to. So before I get more into like the Sea of Thieves specific stuff, since that's what I'm mainly interested in with this news, I will just say I think this is a good move forward for Xbox, especially with Sea of Thieves and Grounded, because those 2 games, they will do much better with a wider audience than what it is limited to right now with just the Xbox and PC. Because of how these games work, they need lots of players to keep playing it, by the microtransactions, whatever is needed to keep the game running. And personally for me, if it meant that Sea of Thieves could go on for another 10 years or so, but it was going to be on other platforms, that seems like a great win as a Sea of Thieves player. So there's going to be people that are upset that it's going to be losing exclusivity, but if you're a Sea of Thieves player or a Grounded player or whatever, this should be amazing news for you. Now getting into the Sea of Thieves specific stuff, I'm interested to see when they actually announce this. The way Phil Spencer talked about it, it seemed like it's going to be relatively soon, so I'm interested to see when this actually gets announced. There's a few possibilities. One, they could wait till Season 12 of Sea of Thieves comes out. That will be about 2 months from now, so that would make sense, because I feel like before this actually comes out, we'll probably hear some leaks about, PlayStation news or something gets leaked or whatever the case may be. I feel like we'll probably hear about it once it gets a lot closer to that announcement. But we could also see it maybe just shadow dropped, similar to how the Steam release was done. They basically just announced it and it was like, hey, it's on Steam now. So they could do something like that. However, I think they would want to capitalize on more of a marketing push with this as opposed to Steam. With Steam, it wasn't really as big of a deal in the sense that if you were already a player on PC that wanted to play Sea of Thieves, you could get it from the Windows Store since the day it launched. So really it going to Steam was not as big of a deal. But going to PlayStation is going to be a huge deal. So I think they'd want a bigger audience to see, kind of like how you have like the Super Bowl and everyone wants to get their ads in front of that many amount of people, rather than just drop it on the internet and hope someone sees it. So the final thought could be maybe they wait till the summer and show it off during like the PlayStation Showcase or something, and then basically release it on that day or like a week later or something. I could definitely see that as another option. But I think those are probably the 3 most likely scenarios. I don't think they'll wait for too long for this. I really think that everything we've seen over the last year with Sea of Thieves, with Season 9 kind of cleaning up a lot of the world events and other aspects of the game, Season 10 bringing in safer seas and stuff, and obviously Season 11, which was a huge change in terms of how voyages and everything works. I think the fact that we even got like new tutorial voyages and everything in the game is a huge indication that they were planning for a long time that we were going to get a huge influx of new players into the game. So I think a lot of the things have been building up, and since they've talked about Season 12 not going to be like this system update, it would make sense why they would want to capitalize on a new player audience, with that having a big content launch with new players available and all sorts of stuff. So I'm pretty excited about that. I'm really looking forward to season 12, and this last 2 months might be a little bit of a drag, but I think the rest of 2024 should be a pretty good year for Sea of Thieves. But that's all I have to talk about in this video. I just wanted to give an update because some of y'all might not pay attention to other outlets that are talking about this. So for those of you that were wondering what's going on with Sea of Thieves, I just wanted to kind of give that update. Let me know y'all's thoughts in the comments below. What do you think about all this? Do you think this is good for Xbox? Do you think this is bad for Xbox? And as a Sea of Thieves player, are you excited for this? Are you excited that PlayStation will finally have access to this? I know I am. But let me know all that in the comments below. If you enjoyed this video, it'd be great if you like and subscribe. But until next time, thanks for watching, and I'll see y'all later. Bye, y'all.